Ever wondered how the penalty kick in football came into existence? Let's dial back to the year 1890. The game of football was still in its infancy, but was becoming increasingly rough, and it needed a solution to deter deliberate fouling. Enter Irishman William McCrum, the man who would change the game forever. McCrum, who had a hand in founding the first Irish Football League, was a goalkeeper for Milford FC. From his position in front of the goalposts at Milford's sodden football pitch, he was unhappy to see that many defenders professionally fouled attacking players to prevent them from scoring. So, as a member of the Irish Football Association, he proposed the introduction of penalty kicks to curb this practice. A radical concept, it was met with considerable resistance and sparked controversy. Traditionalists argued that it was too harsh a punishment, while others saw its potential in bringing justice to the game. McCrum argued that it would discourage players from committing deliberate fouls in the penalty area, thus making the game fairer and more enjoyable. McCrum submitted the proposal to the Mid-Ulster Football Association, who in turn brought the concept to the Irish Football Association. It was then sent to the International Football Association Board, the custodian of the game. Despite the heated debates, McCrum's proposal was eventually accepted by the International Football Association Board in June 1891, and the penalty kick was born as Law 14, which stated that handling the ball, tripping or deliberately holding an opposing player within 12 yards of his own goal line would result in a penalty. But it wasn't welcomed with open arms. Many resisted this new rule, viewing it as a drastic alteration of the beloved game. Yet, despite the controversy, the penalty kick was here to stay, and it was about to evolve. It has since become one of the most dramatic and decisive moments in football. A moment of nerve-wracking tension where games can be won or lost in an instant. So the next time you see a player preparing for a penalty kick, remember Irishman William McCrum. From its invention, the penalty kick had a rocky journey before it became an integral part of the game. It emerged amidst controversy and without its fair share of drama, with many in the football fraternity initially dismissing it as a radical and unnecessary change. But, as with all great ideas, it took just a bit of time to catch on. Just like everything else, the penalty kick hasn't remained stagnant. It has evolved over the years. From its inception, the penalty kick has undergone several crucial transformations. When first established, there was no particular spot for the kick. The penalty kick could be taken from any point 12 yards from the goal line. The player could take a run-up and strike the ball while it was moving. Imagine the chaos. The introduction of penalty spot came in 1902, which was standardized exactly 12 yards from the goal line and equidistant from both goalposts. The ball, previously allowed to be moving, was now required to be stationary at the penalty spot for the kick. The D shape at the penalty area was created in the early 20th century. This semicircle marked the exclusion zone for all players except the penalty taker and the opposing goalkeeper. Over time, rules have also evolved to clarify the goalkeeper's role during a penalty kick. Initially, goalkeepers were allowed to stand anywhere between the posts, but had to remain still until the kick was taken. Today, they must have at least 1 foot on or in line with the goal line when the kick is taken and are allowed to move laterally. These changes brought a new level of precision and pressure to the penalty taker. The evolution of the penalty kick didn't stop there. In the 1970s, we saw the introduction of the penalty shootout. Born out of the need to decide tied matches, this high-stakes face-off between keeper and kicker quickly became a fan favorite. Although widely employed since the 1970s, penalty shootouts have been criticized by many followers of the game, due primarily to their perceived reliance on luck rather than skill, and their dependence on individual duels between opposing players, which is arguably not in keeping with football as a team sport. However, some believe the pressure and unpredictability involved makes it one of the most thrilling finales to any sport, especially with the sudden death format, which added a new layer of suspense, skill, and strategy to the beautiful game. Moving forward, the penalty kick saw further refinements. In the mid-20th century, the concept of feinting was introduced. This allowed the penalty taker to deceive the goalkeeper with body movements before striking the ball. But this wasn't without its controversies. In 2010, FIFA declared that feinting during the run-up to the ball was permitted, but any feinting once the player completed the run-up was considered unsporting behavior. In recent years, football's governing bodies have continued to tweak the rules. The introduction of the Video Assistant Referee, or VAR, has added another layer of scrutiny to the penalty kick. This technology checks every penalty decision, ensuring that the right call is made. It has been a game-changer, settling debates on the pitch and in living rooms around the world. But despite these changes, the essence of the penalty kick remains the same. It's a battle of wits between the penalty taker and the goalkeeper. A moment of high drama where games can be won or lost. A test of skill, nerve, and precision. Today, the penalty kick is not just about scoring goals. It's a psychological duel, a test of nerve and precision under immense pressure. It's a moment that can make heroes and villains, change the course of games, and write new chapters in football history. With each change, the penalty kick has become an increasingly vital part of the game. The penalty kick has come a long way from its humble beginnings, adapting and evolving to the changing dynamics of the game. So that's the story of the penalty kick, a simple yet powerful tool in the game of football from its humble origins, dreamt up in the mind of Irishman William McCrum in the late 19th century, to its adoption by the International Football Association Board in 1891, the penalty kick has truly carved out its own unique space in the beautiful game. It's evolved, adapted, and grown with the sport, from the original idea of a punishment for fouls to becoming a strategic element that can make or break a game. The penalty kick has seen its fair share of drama, controversy, and unforgettable moments that have written themselves into football history. So, the next time you see a player stepping up to the penalty spot, remember the long journey that brought this dramatic moment to life. If you enjoyed this informative journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such fascinating stories from Kickoff Trivia. Who knows what you might discover next? Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.